Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start our first control system class. All right. So let me just present my screen. Yeah. So I guess the presentation is visible and I'm clearly audible to you. There is no background noise from my side, is it? All right. Fine. Clear. Good. So control system is again the subject which is common from both the branches, that is electrical and electronics. Okay, so there's lots of and lots of theory about control system which we are not going to address. Okay, as I have told you that we will be focusing more on solving examples rather than going for theory. All right. So you guys have a fair idea about what control system is. Okay, so I will not be telling you the definition and all things. We'll be directly jumping to the points. That is, in control systems we have two types of control system, that is open loop control system and closed loop control system. So the basic difference between these two control systems you might be aware of, right? So if there is a feedback element present in the control system, then that control system is said to be closed loop control system, right? If feedback is present, then it is closed loop. If feedback is not present, then it is said to be the open loop control system. So or open loop system simply. Okay, no need to say control system all the time. So we are going to deal with open loop as well as closed loop systems. We are going to deal a lot. Like when we find the stability of systems, you might be aware of, अगर किसी ने मतलब पढ़ाई किया है गेट का पिछले एक एक साल में या फिर उससे पहले, सो हमें क्या करना होता है कि लाइक वी हैव टू यूज ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन टू फाइंड आउट द stability of closed loop system, so which becomes quite confusing, but trust me, I will be making these things very smooth and simple, so you won't get confusion. All right, having said that, let's move to the next topic, that is transfer function. So transfer function is nothing but the mathematical representation of a control system, right? So if we like put it into the form of mathematics, it will be transfer function is equals to cs by rs. So what is cs here? Cs is the uh, Laplace transform of output of control, the given control system, and rs will be Laplace transform of input of the control system, right? So I guess यहाँ तक किसी को कोई doubt नहीं होना चाहिए, is it? Anything like you want to ask something about open loop, closed loop? Because जो हम यहाँ पे पढ़ने वाले हैं आज, उसके लिए इतना जो थियरी मैंने बताया, दिस इज सफिशिएंट कि कंट्रोल सिस्टम में दो टाइप के कंट्रोल सिस्टम होते हैं, ओपन लूप, क्लोज लूप, एंड ट्रांसफर फंक्शन क्या होता है, सिर्फ इन्हीं दो चीजों के साथ में हमें आज डील करना है. Right, guys? Any doubts? No doubts? Shall we move further? And guys, please keep it interactive. Okay. Yeah, good. So, like, abhi, jo basic question, like basic question from control system that might appear in the gate examination, that can be of block diagram reduction. ब्लॉक डायग्राम एक होती है. नाउ यू ऑल आर अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, राइट? ब्लॉक डायग्राम सबने नाम सुना है, ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन. रमन, हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन? बाकी लोगों ने तो सुना ही होगा. आई थिंक रमन इज द जूनियर मोस्ट इन आवर बैच. Okay, fine. So Raman has also heard about it. All right. So, guys, we have lots of like laws or formulas that we have to apply on the block diagram, and it becomes okay. Yeah, you're in second year. Good. That's good. So you are preparing for gate examination in the second year itself. That's really nice. Okay. Uh, so what I was talking about, I keep forgetting. That's my problem. I was talking about block diagram reduction. So we have like n number of, not n number of actually, but 10 or 15 laws that we have to apply to reduce the block diagram reduction. So उस ब्लॉक डायग्राम को हमें बार बार ड्रॉ भी करना पड़ता है, एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार। आप लोगों को मतलब इसका अच्छे से एक्सपीरियंस होगा, इजंट इट? आपको यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम में भी ये क्वेश्चन रहता है। सी, सो लाइक सी, वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट दोज लॉज कि ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन में किस तरीके से हमें कौन से लॉज अप्लाई करने पड़ते हैं। बट ट्रस्ट मी गाइज, यू वोंट नीड एनी ऑफ दिस लॉज। आई एम गोना टेल यू अ शॉर्ट ट्रिक और अ टेक्निक. If you think it is like acceptable to you, you can use it. And if you think now it might give me a wrong result, you can go for the conventional thing also. Okay, so I'll be telling about both the things. Now it's your choice which way you want to go. So the first law is blocks in series. Okay, so let us suppose there are two blocks in series. Then what happens in this case? Okay, so let me just write it here. So if this is our input r of s, instead of writing r of s, c of s, g of s, I will be writing r, c and g. Okay, so I will not be writing the bracket s to just minimize my efforts to write. Okay, so let us suppose this is my input r, this is my first block g1, and second block is g2. So these two blocks are in series, and we have output c. So we can reduce this as, how can we reduce this? Any idea? Addition or multiplication? RC. Addition or multiplication? Multiplication. All right. It's multiplication. All good? Yeah. So it can be reduced as G1 into G2. So this is very easy. Easiest one. Now next we have blocks in parallel. So what happens when blocks are in parallel? Let me just draw it. Okay. Let us suppose this is my R. This is the block G1, and here I have a summing point, and I have another block that is G2, and it is being it has both the signs as positive. So it can be reduced as R as it is, and this block will become G1 plus G2, and this is C and this is R. All right. Okay, it is addition. Very good. So if you like compare this particular diagram, isn't it look like a feedback loop? Isn't it? So when we talk about feedback loop, like if in feedback system we have h here. Okay, feedback element. So in that case, what we write, c by r is equals to 1 upon 1 plus gh, isn't it? But here in this case we are writing it as a g1 plus g2. So what is the main difference? Can you just observe the this diagram, and you just imagine that diagram? Which diagram? Closed loop system. Imagine that diagram. So we write something different for that, and we write something different formula for this. What can be the major difference? Why we are doing this? Any idea? See, you have to think about all these things when you're studying about gate examination. Like uh, gate examination is just to trick you on these topics only. Okay, so we will be thinking about it. Any idea? If anyone is interested, you can turn on your mic as well. Okay, no issues. अगर कोई गलत भी जवाब देता है तो no issue. I just want this session to be interactive. Anyone? कि यहाँ पे दो ब्लॉक्स इन पैरेलल है, जिसे हम पैरेलल कह रहे हैं, और उनको सिंपली ऐड कर रहे हैं, G1 प्लस G2 कर रहे हैं. लेकिन इफ यू इमेजिन द सिस्टम ऑफ फीडबैक लूप, ओके, ऊपर G रहता है, नीचे H रहता है, एंड दे सीम्स टू बी अगेन इन पैरेलल, बट वी राइट डिफरेंट आउटपुट फॉर देम, लाइक G अपॉन 1 प्लस GH. Why this is so? Okay, so nobody is interested. Let me just tell you. See, guys, in this particular diagram, you just okay, somebody has summing point before the G1. Okay, okay, summing point is before G1, and here we have summing point after G1. Okay, that is one point. Any other? Think about it. Error. Okay, error signal. Yeah. All right. Simply the difference is C, guys. What is the difference? Here, direction of G1 is from input to output. Direction of G2 is from input to output. Right? Direction of both the elements is same. So that's why we are adding here. We say that these two are in parallel. But in case of a feedback loop, direction of G is from input to output, and direction of feedback element is from output to input. Change in direction. Okay, so this forms a loop, isn't it? It forms a loop. So that's why we call it as a feedback loop, and that is why we write different formula or different solution for that. Okay, so this is one thing. Shall we move ahead? I guess yes. Consecutive summing points can be interchanged. Okay, consecutive summing points can be interchanged. So how does this works? Let me just draw a diagram here. I have input R here, right? And okay, instead of writing this arrow, I will write it like this is my one summing point, this is my second summing point, this is I have a block G1, and this is output C, and this is input R. So we have a summing point here. The input is X, here the input is Y, right? So these are consecutive summing points, and there is no any node element anything between them. Okay, nothing in between them. So in such cases, we can interchange them. How can we interchange them? So I can redraw this diagram as this summing point becomes Y, and this is X. G1 as it is, this is C, and this is R. All right. What I'm doing, I'm just interchanging the summing points. It does not change the result. How does not change the result? Let us see. So what will be the signal here? Signal here will be R plus X, isn't it? Now the signal here will be R plus X plus Y, and the output C will be equal to R plus X plus Y into G1. This will be the output, isn't it? In this case also, signal here will be R plus Y, and R plus Y plus X, signal here will be R plus Y plus X, and at output we again have R plus Y plus X into G1. So it doesn't changes the meaning of our system. So what is the third thing we have to remember? We can interchange consecutive summing points. All right. Next we have shifting a takeoff point. Okay. So I hope I'm not going too fast. Is it? We're going good. Keep your presence in the chat box. We're going good. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Good. All right. So next thing we have is shifting of a takeoff point. Now let us suppose I have this system here, G1, and this is C, this is R, and I have this takeoff point here. So its output will be R only, isn't it? So we are taking signal from this. So its output will be R of this takeoff point. Now I want to transfer this takeoff point after G1. I want to transfer this takeoff point after G1. In this case, so G1 becomes G1 comes before R, or this takeoff point. So R will be here. Then we have C here. So how can we write this takeoff point here? Takeoff point comes like this, and it is 1 by G1. Okay, I will write it in a way it will be understandable for you. 1 by G1, and it should be again R only. Got this? See, here it was directly R, but after coming here, it becomes, here the signal is R into G1, which is not desired signal. We need only R, so that we have to cancel out G1. So we are multiplying with 1 by G1. 1 by G1 cancels G1 and gives output as R. Okay, this is one thing. Now next thing we have is shifting of a summing point. राइट, सो अभी हमें क्या करना है, समिंग पॉइंट को शिफ्ट करना है. हाउ डू वी do that? Any guesses? Anyone wants to like tell or discuss about it? आप अपना माइक ऑन कर सकते हो, इसमें इतनी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. ओके, मुझे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. राइट, we have less number of students, so it can be interactive if anybody wants to speak. All right, no problem. Let's learn about shifting a summing point. So I have a system that is, this is my input R, and this is the summing point X. Okay, and the gain factor, that is G here, and it is C. So I want to transfer this is plus plus, I want to transfer this summing point after the block G. So what will be the signal here? It will be R plus X, and here it will be R plus X into G. Okay, R plus X into G. Now first of all, take the block G. Here we have input as R. All right, and here we have the summing point. We have shifted the summing point, and it is C. So what is the signal here? Signal here, what is signal here? मैंने जहां पे एरो ड्रॉ किया है वहां पे सिग्नल क्या रहेगा गाइस? आर जी रहेगा. ओके, ऑलराइट, सो यहाँ पे रहेगा आर जी. वेरी करेक्ट, that is rg. But what we need rg plus xg. Okay, so signal यहाँ से x तो आएगा, but it should be multiplied with g. Right, so यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to add one block here, g, and then we have to apply the signal x. Now x into g is gx, and this is rg, so again output will be rg plus xg, which is our desired output. So guys, जैसे कि मैंने आपको पहले ही कहा, we are not going to use this things because it is very lengthy. I won't say it is complicated, but it is time consuming. Okay, but I am taking you through all this methods or the theorems just because I want you people to understand how the signal works or how the signal flows through the system. Okay, at every point you must imagine what can be the signal here. So that is the only motto of learning about all these things. Okay, now let's move further. Let's take separating summing points. How do we separate summing points? Okay, so let us suppose this is signal R, input R. We have a summing point which has two signals X and Y. All right, so both are plus here, and then we have G, and then we have C. So here the signal will be, what will be the signal? R plus X plus Y will be there, and output will be R plus X plus Y into G. All right, and now we have to separate these X and Y. So simply we can write it like, this is one summing point, that is X, this is other summing point, that is Y, and we have this block G and C, this is R. यहाँ पे सिग्नल क्या रहेगा? R plus X, here it will be R plus X plus Y, and here we have at output R plus X plus Y into G. राइट. सो मीनिंग यहाँ पे भी चेंज नहीं हो रहा है. वी जस्ट सेपरेटेड द समिंग पॉइंट्स. ओके. नाउ द लास्ट वन वी हैव इज reducing feedback loop. जैसे कि मैंने आपको कहा था कि feedback loop को imagine कीजिए. So let us suppose this is R and this is a summing point, this is gain G, and we have output C. Then we have a feedback element H here, and remember this is plus and this is minus sign here. So in such cases, how we what we write, the transfer function will be C by R is equals to G upon 1 plus GH. Remember the thing, that is sign. If minus is here, we have to use plus here. If plus is here, we have to use minus here. ओके. दिस कैन बी द कंफ्यूजन. मतलब यहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है कि सर यहाँ पे प्लस कब लेना है, माइनस कब लेना है. सो रिमेंबर दिस. ओके. Depending upon the sign here, you have to change sign here. So this is basically a reduction of feedback loop. Okay. Any queries still here? Like 7 हमने प्रॉपर्टीज यहाँ पे पढ़ी है, तो 7 प्रॉपर्टीज में किसी को कोई दिक्कत, एनी डिफिकल्टी, प्रॉब्लम? अगर है तो कह दो, अगर नहीं है तो हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, कुछ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे. Speak up or type in the chat box. Anything will do. All right, no doubts. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Now, guys, we have to solve this. We have to reduce this control system. Okay. So, can you try it? What can be the output? Just try it. Give it a try. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Ma'am, I'll be giving you 2 minutes time. Try to solve this. Try to reduce the system, and you can write the answer in the chat box, or if it seems like difficult for you, you can post it on the group also. Answer. Okay. Take the screen. Take the picture of the answer and post it on our group. That would be good also. No issues. Try it. What will be C by R? I'm talking about transfer function. Okay, C by R. I just want you people to take feel of whatever we have learned. How do you apply, how you apply the things? I just want to check this. Okay, only answer is acceptable. Okay, somebody has posted, I guess. Raman, G1 plus G3 into G2 divided by 1 plus G2 into H1. Okay. Anybody else? I hope you people are trying at least. Keep trying. We have time. अगर कोई डिफरेंट आंसर आ रहा है तो आपको लिखना है, नहीं तो आपको यू कैन टाइप सेम एज रमन, नो इश्यूज. बार बार टाइप करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. ओके okay? अगर कोई अलग आंसर आ रहा है तो टाइप कीजिए या फिर ग्रुप पे पोस्ट कीजिए. Only Raman has got the answer. Okay, Shardul has the same answer. No worries guys, अगर आप नहीं solve कर पा रहे हो, that is also fine. I will solve it for you. And one more thing I want to tell you is like sometime it may happen that electricity goes off or internet goes off. In that case, I may leave the meeting. So okay, so please wait for 1 or 2 minutes in such cases. It may happen sometime, not today. Only two answers. If you are done trying, then tell me, or if you are trying, then I'll wait. Please explain. Okay, yeah, I will explain. Sure, no issues. All right. बाकी लोग ट्राई कर रहे हैं, तीन लोगों ने तो आंसर दे दिया है. Shardul has left the meeting. Okay. आदित्य, अखिल, सृष्टि, शुभम. Guys, do it fast, please. Okay, fine. Uh, so if you're trying, please trying. I'll be explaining it, okay? Because we cannot just waste much time on this one example. We have a lot more to solve. So see, everyone, what we have to do here is we have to separate the summing point here. We have to reconstruct the diagram here. Okay, so how can we construct the diagram here? Just observe this. So this is R, this is as it is, this is G1. All right, now I have this summing point here, and this is G3, and this is the summing point, that is प्लस प्लस. ऑलराइट, यहाँ तक तो ठीक है. और अभी यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है? नाउ सी, यहाँ पे नेगेटिव है, राइट? यहाँ पे नेगेटिव है, सो वी हैव टू अप्लाई द फीडबैक सिग्नल with the sign minus. So h1 is here. I'm writing h only because we have only one feedback element here, right? So it becomes like this: c and h. Sorry, g1, g3, g2, and h, and this is r. Now it is quite easy, isn't it? So see, g1 and g3 are in parallel. They are in parallel. So what will be the resultant of this? Resultant of this will be G1 plus G3. एग्री एवरीवन? ये जो पूरा मेरा यहाँ पे सिस्टम है, इसका क्या रहेगा? G1 प्लस G3 रहेगा. एग्री एग्री एवरीवन? है सब लोग मेरे साथ, या फिर कुछ लोग सॉल्व कर रहे हैं? यू आर नॉट सॉल्विंग, आई गेस यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग. ओके, only Sonali has given answer. Yeah, okay, good. All right, now solve the next thing, that is G2 is our gain and H is our feedback element. So basically we have to solve a feedback loop here. This is plus, this is minus. So its resultant will be G2 upon 1 plus G2 into H1. यहाँ पे H1 है. Alright. अभी देखो दोस्तों, these two are in series. मतलब मैंने इस लूप को सॉल्व कर लिया. ओके, इस लूप को सॉल्व कर लिया, मेरा आंसर ये आया. इस लूप को सॉल्व कर लिया, मेरा आंसर ये आया. एंड नाउ दीज टू लूप्स आर इन सीरीज. सो इन दोनों का क्या होगा? ये जो दो चीजें हैं, इनका क्या होगा? इनका मल्टीप्लीकेशन होगा. सो G1 प्लस G3 मल्टीप्लाइड विथ G2 इंटू 1 प्लस G2 H1, जो कि रमन ने लिखा है चैट बॉक्स में, अगर आपने देखा होगा तो. सो इट कैन बी अगेन रिटर्न एज C by R is equals to G1 G2 plus G2 G3 divided by 1 plus G2 H1. Okay, so this is our final answer, C by R, transfer function. All right, clear for everyone? Clear? Just put in the chat box clear. Okay, fine. So one more thing, guys, I want to tell you is remember the sequencing. Like you have to solve bigger diagrams. Okay, in such cases, what happens? Sometimes you miss one element. Like you might be having five like G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, H1, H2, H3. So basically, you have eight elements, and you might miss one of them. So what you have to remember is you have to keep them in a sequence like I have written here. See, G1, G2, G2, G3, G2, H1। मैं जो गेन का जो जिसे हम गेन डिनोट करते हैं G, मैं G को पहले रखता हूं, H को बाद में रखता हूं। नो मैटर, इवन इफ इट इज H1, आई विल प्लेस इट आफ्टर G। सो मेक योर लाइक स्टाइल कि मतलब मुझे इसी तरीके से इसे लिखना है। यू विल नॉट मेक मिस्टेक, यू विल नॉट कमिट मिस्टेक्स। ओके, सो सीक्वेंस में लिखना है G1, G2, G2, G3। गेन के बाद में हमें फीडबैक का एलिमेंट लिखना है। सो if we follow this procedure, there are less chances of making a silly mistake. All right, so that is being said, now solve this. Try to solve this. Just try it. Okay, just get okay, don't solve it, just give it a, like give it a look, देख लो इस diagram के बारे में, and what are your thought about this diagram? Like can you solve this? If you can solve this, how much time it will take, how much steps you have to go through? Just specify me that. कि आपको क्या लगता है कि इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए आपको कितना समय लगेगा, एंड हाउ मेनी पेजेस यू हैव टू, और हाउ मेनी टाइम्स यू हैव टू रीड्रॉ दिस डायग्राम? टेल एवरीवन। Seems complicated or easy? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes? How much time you'll need? Actually, we don't have that much time. 5 minutes. Okay, Raman says 5 minutes. All right. Okay, 5 minutes. Others, Sonali, Akhil, Shubham, Srishti, what do you think? Are you guys confident of solving this? Respond, guys. Respond. I am only talking. That is not correct. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right? बोलो यार। ठीक है, चलो। Okay. So, how do we solve this? Guys, we are not going to redraw this diagram. We are going to solve from this only, like here only. Okay. So, let me just take a signal X. Signal X is here. Okay. Now, this signal X is going here also, here also. So, what will be the output here? It will be G3 into X. In this branch, it will be G3 into X. Here, it will be G1 into X. All right. Now, this G1 into X goes here. It becomes G1 into H1 into X. सब लोग सब समझ रहे हो ना कि कैसे कैसे हो रहा है? ओके, सो G1 into X यहाँ पे था, तो यहाँ पे क्या बनेगा? इट विल बी G1 into G2 into X. ओके, तो मैं पहले यहाँ पे लिख ले रहा हूँ सिर्फ. नाउ व्हाट विल बी हियर? सी, G1 into G2 into X plus G3 into X. That will be G1 into G2 plus G3 into X, which is nothing but our output, isn't it? So मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ simply C is equals to G1 into G2 plus G3 is equals to sorry multiplied by X. Okay, yeah, ठीक है, everyone is with me? अरे यार सब लोग है ना क्लास में? Like 2 or 3 people are only responding, so I'm just afraid whether I'm boring you and you just leave the class, isn't it? Okay, that's not the case. All right, yeah. So see, कैसे कैसे हम गए? X यहाँ पे गया, ऊपर भी गया, G3 into x, G1 into x, नीचे आया G1 into H1 into x. On the right side, it is G1 into G2 into x. We have added it, that is G1 into G2 plus G3 uh, into x, that is our output C. Now, this signal is going through this only. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा सिग्नल, बताना जरा मुझे. It will be G1 into G2 into H2 into x plus G3 into H2 into x. यहाँ पे सिग्नल ये होगा. ओके, नाउ G1 into H1 into x plus G1 into G2 into H2 into x plus G3 into H2 into x. So यहाँ पे एडिशन क्या होगी देखो, इट विल बी G1 into H1. मैं यहाँ पे x को कॉमन ले लेता हूँ. ओके, एंड इट विल बी G1 into H1 ले लिया, G1 into G2 into G3. सॉरी, इट इज नॉट G3. देखो यहाँ पे मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ खुद. G1 into G2 into H2 plus G3 into H2 and X. ठीक है, यहां तक समझ में आया? यस. ओके, नाउ सी यहाँ पे नेगेटिव साइन है, राइट? सो x will be what? X will be equal to r. This is r minus this whole term, that is G1. Okay, I will write it directly. Okay, see, G1 into H1 into x minus G1 into G2 into H2 into x plus, sorry, it is minus again, G3 into H2 into x. So x की वैल्यू क्या है, तो ये है r minus this whole term. All right, now what we are going to do, we are going to do one thing. टेक दिस एक्स सेपरेटली. लाइक यहाँ पे हमें क्या करना है, एक्स को सेपरेट करना है. कैसे करेंगे, इस आर को यहीं पे रखो और ये जो तीन टर्म्स है ना, इसे लेफ्ट साइड में भेज दो. सो इट विल बी, एक्स में कॉमन निकलता हूं, सो इट विल बी 1 प्लस G1 into H1 प्लस G1 into G2 into H2 प्लस G3 into H2 इज इक्वल्स टू R. ठीक है, या ऑल गुड. ठीक है, सो अभी क्या करना है हमें, वी हैव C, वी हैव R. ठीक है, सो लिख दो फिर, C बाय R इज आवर ट्रांसफर फंक्शन. सो इसमें भी x मल्टीप्लाइड है, x को काट दो, x गया x गया, सो क्या बचा, G1 into G2 plus G3 divided by 1 plus G1 H1 plus G1 G2 H2 plus G3 H2. This is our final answer. Was it difficult? How many times I redrawn the diagram? 0 times. I didn't draw the diagram again. Just yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. That's my pleasure. Like, if it is like, if you people are liking this, okay. Little difficult, yeah. It is, instead of saying difficult, it is little confusing. The only thing you have to master is placing this x at right place. ये जो x सिग्नल हमने कंसिडर किया ना, तो इसको आपको अच्छी जगह पे अगर आप प्लेस कर सकते हो, सो देयर आर 0% चांसेस दैट यू आर गोइंग टू मेक मिस्टेक इन द एग्जाम्पल. एक थिंग, मतलब एक मुझे ट्रिक्स जितना मैंने पढ़ाई किया उसमें मुझे समझ में आया है कि आपको x कहां पे नहीं लेना है. ओके, लेट अस सपोज, अभी देखना इस एग्जांपल में मैंने x यहां पे लिया. ओके, आई हैव टेकन x हियर. सो यहां पे x के सामने किसी भी जगह पे एक फीडबैक लूप रिटर्न नहीं आ रहा था. लाइक अभी ये यहां से तो नीचे जा रहा है. ओके, बट इट इज नॉट कमिंग बैक हियर. ओके, अगर ऐसी अगर केस है, so in that case, this method won't work. This method won't work. You have to apply x at such place that there should not be a feedback coming in front of x. x के सामने कोई फीडबैक लूप आना नहीं चाहिए सामने से. x के पीछे आएगा तो चलेगा. देखा, यहाँ पे x के पीछे फीडबैक लूप है, x के पीछे फीडबैक आ चुका है, लेकिन x के सामने यहाँ पे कोई भी सिग्नल आ नहीं रहा है. सब लोग समझ रहे हो ना, मतलब मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूं. एक्स कहाँ पे प्लेस करना है ये आपको समझ में आया? अगर ये चीज अगर आप समझते हो ना, you try this. What you will do, you will take number of examples. ओके आप एग्जांपल्स लो एंड जस्ट सोचो कि मुझे एक्स यहाँ पे कहाँ पे प्लेस करना है. प्लेस द एक्स देयर, solve the example and just try the answer. Most of the times you will get correct answer when you place x correctly. और x correctly place करने के लिए feedback loop का ध्यान रखना है. Now I will present you one diagram, that is this one. You just tell me where should I put x, where should I put x after G1, after G3, after between G3 and that summing point, before G1, before G2, where should I put X? After the summing point, after summing point first, after first summing point, like here, you are saying here. Okay, Raman says here. Before G3, okay, all right, ठीक है, G3 ठीक है. हाँ, और कोई, और कोई बताओ कहाँ पे रख सकते हो आप समिंग पॉइंट? बिफोर G4, ऑल राइट, यहाँ पे ठीक है. Okay, Sonali is saying before G4. So G4. Okay, I think before G3. All right. Let us discuss. Any other? No. All right. Fine. So see, guys, I have already told you like there should not be a feedback loop coming after the X. So here it will be correct if you place the summing point before G4, before G4, and after that summing point there is a summing point between G3 and G4, isn't it? So after this summing point, you have to place X. Now, guys, please, will you try for 2 minutes? Just try it. Get a feel of how the signals are flowing. I will be solving this for you, but just draw the diagram on your notebook and take a feel of how the signals are flowing. Like G4 into X will be our output, then G4 into X will be going through this. It becomes G4 into H2 into X. After that, it becomes like just try it for 2 minutes. I'm not expecting the answer from you, right? Just two for 2 minutes, you can try it. Draw the diagram, put the X, and try it. And guys, one more thing. Yesterday, only Raman sent me the your so-called homework. Okay, so please give it a try. It's quite interesting, isn't it? See, guys, if you are preparing for GATE examination, you will actually enjoy studying. Okay, इतना interesting रहता है examples, बहुत मस्त. ठीक है. So I hope everybody is trying to generate the signals, different signals. One or two more minutes only. Not able to get. All right. We'll see. We'll see, Raman. No issues. कहाँ पे अटक रहे हो रमन? एक बार तुम माइक ऑन करके बताना जरा. Yeah, you have to start from X. Okay, Raman, बताओ बताओ. Yeah, go ahead, Raman.
After H1, sir.
After H1. Okay, okay. We'll discuss, Raman. No worries. Okay. बाकी लोग कहाँ पे अटक रहे हैं बताना जरा. सी जब मैं सॉल्व कर रहा था वो तो लाइक इट वाज स्मूथ लाइक बटर, इजंट इट? अभी तो आप लोग सॉल्व कर रहे हो तो आपको प्रॉब्लम्स आ रहे हैं थोड़े थोड़े. सो इससे क्या होगा ना, इससे आपके कंसेप्ट क्लियर होंगे. दिस इज व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड. दिस इज व्हाट गेट एग्जाम टीचेस यू. चलो अभी दो लोगों ने बताया कि प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है उनको, सोनाली एंड रमन. व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? सृष्टि, आर यू ऑन इट? एनी डिफिकल्टी? अखिल, शुभम? Okay, after H1, all right. I think everyone else is closing towards the answer. Shardul, are you trying? Yeah, it may happen because you are solving for the first time with the help of this method, isn't it? So it may happen. Takeoff point. Okay, all right. So guys, close your notebooks. Turn your faces towards the screen. Okay, and let's go with the flow. So X is applied here, right? So it will be g4 into x, that will be our c is equals to g4 into x. Now this comes here, it becomes g4 into h2 into x. All right, after coming here it becomes g4 into h1 into h2 into x. यहाँ तक किसी को डिफिकल्टी? नो, नहीं है. ऑल राइट, ओके, चलो ठीक है. सो गाइज सी, यहाँ पे हमारा सिग्नल क्या है? G4 into H2 है, विच इज गोइंग हियर. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे मान लो कि G4 into H2x ही है. नाउ here this signal is becoming G4 into H1 into H2x, so which is going here. Okay, so again the same signal is here. From the takeoff point the signal is going here. Let it be there. We are not getting to the summing point or takeoff point yet. Just the signal let be there. Okay, now this signal is going here. Okay, so यहाँ पे signal क्या होगा? What will be the signal here? Here it will be r minus g4 h1 h2 x होगा. ओके, सो अभी ये दो ब्लॉक्स कैसे हैं? दीज टू ब्लॉक्स आर इन पैरेलल. पैरेलल में ना, सो इनको पैरेलल में है, मतलब मैं इन दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई कर सकता हूं लाइक दिस. ठीक है, या सो अभी ये सिग्नल मेरा कहां पे है? इस समिंग पॉइंट में. लेकिन हमें इसमें से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है? इसमें से सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है हमें G4 into H2 into x. ये यहां पे मैंने सब्ट्रैक्ट कर लिया. सो ये यहां पे जो सिग्नल बना है, दिस इज दिस कंप्लीट सिग्नल. ये सिग्नल यहां पे बना है. एनी डिफिकल्टी टिल हियर? कंफ्यूजन, प्रॉब्लम, एनीथिंग? कोई दुख दर्द नहीं है? ओके, फाइन, ऑल राइट. सो कीप योर काम. नाउ सी, ये कंप्लीट सिग्नल यहां तक है. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज इन सीरीज विद G3. सो G3 क्या होगा? G3 इस कंप्लीट सिग्नल को क्या करेगा? मल्टीप्लाई करेगा. ठीक है, नाउ दिस कंप्लीट सिग्नल माइनस व्हाट? दिस कंप्लीट सिग्नल माइनस व्हाट विल बी देयर? इस कंप्लीट सिग्नल में से यहां पे अभी ये सिग्नल आया है, सो इस कंप्लीट सिग्नल में से क्या माइनस करना है हमें? एनी गेसेस? there is a summing point and we have to subtract something. What is that? क्या है चीज जो हमें वो सब्ट्रैक्ट करनी है यहाँ से? ऑब्जर्व द डायग्राम, लिखा है वहां पे. नॉट ओनली x, g4 into h1 into h2 into x. That is the thing we have to subtract. See, इस टेक ऑफ पॉइंट से ये सिग्नल यहाँ पे आ रहा था ना, सो ये जो कंप्लीट सिग्नल है इसमें से हमें ये सब्ट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा. राइट, ठीक है, तो मैं यहां पे लिख देता हूं दिस होल थिंग माइनस G4 into H1 into H2 x is equals to what now? Is equals to x. ये कंप्लीट थिंग माइनस G4 into H1 into x is equals to x. सो अभी हमारा काम क्या रहेगा? अभी हमारा काम रहेगा कि x को सेपरेट करना. सो x को सेपरेट करने से पहले वी हैव टू सिंप्लीफाई दिस. सो पहले तो ये ब्रैकेट सिंप्लीफाई कर लेते हैं, राइट? सो r into g1 is rg1, right? So again we have minus g1 into g4 into h1 into h2 into x. g1 से मैंने इन दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई कर लिया, अभी मैं g2 से करूंगा, प्लस r into g2, then minus g2 into g4 into h1 into h2 into x, right? And whole minus g4 into h2 into x, this complete multiplied by g3, right? This g3 is there, and again minus g4 into h1 into h2 into x is equals to x. थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजिंग है, ठीक है यहां तक? कोई दिक्कत? नो, देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी. ऑलराइट, सो नेक्स्ट स्टेप कैन बी वी कैन मल्टीप्लाई बाय दिस g3. अभी g3 से हमें कंप्लीट सारे टर्म्स को मल्टीप्लाई करना है, सो कर लो कंप्लीट मल्टीप्लीकेशन. g3 इंटू r इंटू g1, ये g1 है, सॉरी मैंने यहाँ पे सिर्फ g लिखा है. इज इट g1 ओनली? या इट इज g1 ओनली. सो इट विल बी r इंटू g1 इंटू g3 माइनस g1 इंटू g3 इंटू g4 इंटू h1 इंटू h2 इंटू x प्लस r इंटू g2 इंटू g3 minus g2 into g3 into g4 into h1 into h2 into x minus g3 into g4 into h2 into x, and now this minus this minus g4 into h1 into h2 into x is equals to x. All right, ठीक है. अभी क्या करना है? what can be the next step? Next step will be we have to separate out x. ठीक है, तो x के जितने भी टर्म्स है जस्ट सेंड इट देम टू द राइट साइड. अभी x के कौन से टर्म्स है यहाँ पे देख लो. दिस इज x टर्म, यहाँ पे x नहीं है, यहाँ पे भी x है, यहाँ पे भी x है और यहाँ पे भी x है. ओके, सो मैं x के टर्म्स यहाँ पे राइट साइड में शिफ्ट कर देता हूँ, और जो विदाउट x है वो मैं लेफ्ट साइड में लिखता हूँ. सो r इंटू g1 इंटू g3 प्लस r इंटू g2 इंटू g3, these two terms I have written here is equals to, अभी x कॉमन ले लिया मैंने, सो इट विल बी 1 प्लस, ये टर्म अगर राइट साइड में जाती है तो ये पॉजिटिव बनेगी, सो इट विल बी g1 इंटू g3 इंटू g4 इंटू h1 इंटू h2. अभी x कॉमन ले लिया है मैंने तो x लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. नाउ राइट दिस टर्म, दिस विल बी g2 इंटू g3 इंटू g4 इंटू h1 इंटू h2. Okay, now write this term plus g3 into g4 into h2 minus, sorry it will be plus g4 into h1 into h2, x लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है. ओके, सो अभी क्या करना है? अभी वी हैव टू वी कैन डू वन थिंग. ऑलराइट, r को कॉमन निकाल लो यहां से, राइट? सो r अगर कॉमन निकल जाएगा तो क्या होगा? r इंटू g1 इंटू g3 प्लस g2 इंटू g3 रहेगा, ठीक है. इस r को मैं कॉमन ले लेता हूं, सो दिस r विल बी कॉमन हियर, ठीक है. r कॉमन हो गया, x कॉमन हो गया. अभी क्या करना है? अभी वी विल राइट लाइक दिस, c बाय c बाय r इंटू g1 g3 प्लस g2 g3 इंटू इज इक्वल्स टू g4 इंटू x, है ना. हमारा c इज इक्वल्स टू क्या है? c इज इक्वल्स टू हमारा g4 इंटू x है. ऑल राइट, करेक्ट ना? या नाउ सी हमने लिख दिया, अभी आर लिखना है। आर ये जो कंप्लीट है ना, ये यहाँ पे लिखे गए, तो एक्स एक्स कैंसिल हो जाएगा, तो क्या बचेगा? G4 डिवाइडेड बाय दिस होल टर्म बचेगी गाइस। मैं यहाँ पे फिर से नहीं लिखूंगा, सॉरी, आई एम टायर्ड नाउ। ओके, सो ये कंप्लीट टर्म यहाँ पे रहेगी, एक्स एक्स कट जाएगा। ठीक है, अभी हमें सी बाय आर चाहिए, सो इस टर्म को क्या करेंगे हम, इस टर्म को यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर कर देंगे। सो फाइनली इट विल बी, अच्छा हमारा ब्लैक बोर्ड, हमारा व्हाइट बोर्ड भी खत्म हो गया। सो फाइनली इट विल बी C by R is equals to G1 into G3 into G4 plus G2 into G3 into G4 divided by whole this term. ठीक है? ठीक है एवरीवन, डन, अंडरस्टूड, समझ रहे हैं? आई नीड 9 आंसर्स गाइस। 1 2 3 4, 4 only. What about other 3 peoples? Okay. Why we cannot take x after the first summing point? Okay, I'll answer that. Srishti, are you there today? You're not active today, Srishti. All right, no problem. So what happens, when we take x after first summing point, like as you said here, after first summing point, here are two feedback loops in front of x. In such cases, we have to predict the value of future signal, which is not possible. We cannot predict the value of future signal. Okay, अगर तुम्हें लगता है रमन कि ऐसे दिस माइट वर्क, गिव इट अ ट्राई, गिव इट अ ट्राई ना। जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि एक कोई भी फीडबैक लूप उस एक्स के सामने नहीं आना चाहिए, इन ऑर्डर जस्ट जस्ट इन ऑर्डर टू प्रिवेंट द फ्यूचर सिग्नल। ओके, सो मेक श्योर वेन एवर यू आर टेकिंग एक्स, take it like, okay, chalo theek hai, got it, fine. So close discussion on this, that, and this is the last question. You can take screenshot of this. This is numerical type of question, you have to find out the numerical value. And guys, please be active, solve this question. Let me tell you, Raman yesterday solved the question just after the class, and he sent me, our class ended at something 8:30, and he sent me the answer at 8:45. So that's I'm very happy about it. Okay, so everyone please take screenshot of this. If you need this PDF, if you need this PPT, I will share it with you. Okay, I will share it with you on WhatsApp group. Will that be okay? Take a screenshot. Done everyone. I hope you were able to learn something new today. Okay, so yeah, so जो गेट एग्जामिनेशन में ब्लॉक डायग्राम रिडक्शन के क्वेश्चन आएंगे ना, वो ज्यादा हार्ड नहीं रहेंगे गाइज। आई हैव सॉल्व्ड with the help of this method lots of questions, and mostly I get correct answers. ठीक है, सो मैं कन्वेंशनल जो मेथड्स है ना हमारे, शिफ्टिंग द टेक ऑफ पॉइंट, समिंग पॉइंट, आई डोंट यूज ऑल दैट. Okay, it works for me, and I use this only. So all right guys, it is 8:30 already. As promised, today I'll be taking class for 1 hour only. From next week, what we will do, we will take classes for 1.5 hour. Will that be okay? Chalo, so thank you and bye bye everyone. You people are free to leave the class now. Thank you, bye. You can leave the class if you don't have any questions. Bye.
Sir, what about my emails? I already given to you.
Shubham, I will add your both the email IDs, so don't worry. Okay?
Okay, sir, no worry.
Yeah, ठीक है, चलो. Akhil, any question? Okay, fine. So please leave the class ना. जब तक सारे स्टूडेंट्स लीव नहीं करेंगे ना क्लास, तो वो रिकॉर्डिंग बंद नहीं होता है. Okay? Yeah. Srishti, are you there? Please leave the class.